Guys, Brady here, and I just saw The Drop. So this stars James Gandolfini and Tom Hardy. I think this was James Gandolfini's last movie before his death, because he was in Enough Said. He was in a bunch of other films before this, but I think this was probably his last film he's ever done. So basically, the um, the Drop is about basically Tom Hardy's character Bob Sagalowski. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm just gonna call him Bob Saget because that's like the beginning part of his last name is like Saget. So we're gonna call him Bob Saget. His character is I don't he works at a bar, his cousin's bar, which his cousin is Marv, James Gandolfini's character, who he finds this dog in a trash can one day. It's a pit bull, and it's bleeding. His paw's bleeding, and its head is bleeding a little bit. And so he takes the dog into the some lady's house, like his this girl that he knows' his house, cleans him off, and then um he and he decides that he doesn't really want to keep the dog. He's telling the girl that he doesn't want to keep the dog. Give me a couple, and he's like, I'll keep the dog at your house if you just give me a couple days. She's like, no, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to put it in adoption. He's like, I don't want to do adoption. I'll just keep it in. She's like, fine, come here on Saturday and pick the dog up. And so he does. So he buys it. He names the dog Rocco. He buys all this. He buys like Rocco toys, bags, food, anything a dog wants. He got anything you can name that a dog would want. Um, so he keeps the dog. He lives in like this really shitty area. I really don't know what city, town, or even state uh, this movie took place. Um, this is a really low budget independent film. Um, but my problem with this movie is is that the editing in this movie is just a bit choppy and sloppy. Like they'd focus on this one scene, like a split second, not even, and then go to the next scene without even explaining what's going on. Like there was like this nice city view. Actually, no, it wasn't a city view. It was a what was it? I don't know. It was focused on a cart for like a very split second, and then it goes to the next scene as if that scene didn't matter. They're like, let's try to make this movie as long as we could. We'll just throw this one extra scene in, and then never explain it. And that's what I mean. So a couple of scenes were like that. I didn't understand why, but anyway, uh, the movie was a bit slow and it dragged on for about 5 minutes. Like it could have ended 5 minutes earlier than it did. The movie's like an hour and 45 minutes long. It could have been like 93 minutes long, at least. But just like the last 4.5 minutes of the movie was like, did we really need to see this? You could have ended it right there. Well, maybe it's 6 or 7 minutes and a half actually could have ended. But oh yeah, about the dog. This dog was thrown in the trash can by some well, not really criminal, but this guy that basically beat the dog, and he didn't want the dog, so he just tossed in some lady's trash can. And so now the guy wants the dog back for $10,000. And if he doesn't get the $10,000, he's gonna take the dog from Bob and beat its head in with a rock, which is exactly what he said in the movie. Um, which is not right. He shouldn't brutally beat up a dog. I mean, it's a dog. The dog was so cute in the movie, and he lives. So anyway, I give The Drop 3 stars out of 5.